Yo, hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing Friday. Currently Bitcoin is still pushing towards the downside. As you can see, our scenario that I have charted weeks ago is currently playing out, as you can see, perfectly. Basically, Bitcoin is right now in no man's land, as I like to say it. So right now it is not for short, it is not for long. You're basically in the middle of this move right here, the middle of the range. You are not at overbought or oversold values. You wanna currently you're in the middle of the range. You don't wanna be looking for trades here. If you have not gotten in a trade, you better wait for a perfect setup. As you can see, one of those setups would be sitting at 105k right here at the 200 EMA. Basically, it is also very strong level on the daily EMA. Then the next level that, in my opinion, would be taken now is pointing right here to the downside, currently sitting at 98.2k. Basically, for Bitcoin, that would be very key level, since this low right here has not been taken out yet. So the price might go there. The market makers, they will wanna take out this liquidity so they can position themselves in a position also once Q4 starts, since we do have next week a couple of days left. If we go on the monthly, we have only 4 days left, as you can see right here, of this month, and then October comes and Q4 begins. Basically, Q4, if you don't know, is historically very bullish for Bitcoin. But as you can see now, everything is going to plan. Bitcoin is having a correction during the month of September, and what we are expecting right now for us to position ourselves for another very good long opportunity would be those levels right here. In my opinion, the more oversold levels, which would be sitting at 98 or even $93,000. Now, why I'm saying it's possible that Bitcoins will correct there, we'll find a bottom there, is because if we measure this move from the all-time high from 124k all the way down to 93k, that is a correction of around $31,000 in price action change. Basically, in price change, historically, if we look at the chart, Bitcoin, once it has over $30,000 in price change, basically this signals very well a bottom. Also, this is a very key level. Also, the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement basically is sitting right here. But if we look at Ethereum, some of the altcoins, you can see Ethereum already bouncing from the 100 EMA right here, 3,850. Still a very nice level for Ethereum to potentially hold, but it is also possible that we are going to go one more week down until we test this low right here potentially, or we can bounce from exactly from the 0.786 Fibonacci level, or maybe even we go all the way down to the Fibonacci golden pocket, which is sitting right here also at the weekly 50 EMA for Ethereum, is right around $3,000. Basically, from the top, that would be a correction of around 38%. As you know previously, Ethereum does tend to have those bigger correction of around 47%. Right here we have another 30% correction. Here we have, I think, like 60%, 66% of a correction. In the previous bull market of 2021, we got 60% correction. Then we got another 34% correction. So potentially for this impulsive move, I'm looking at a correction like this one right here. So potentially not the beginning of the bear market yet, but a correction like the one that we got here before another explosive move to the upside. Since, as you know, the all-time high from 2021 has been taken, and Ethereum, after a bit of consolidation and nice retracement, basically nice cool off of the RSI indicators, because as you can see on the weekly we were a lot in the overbought zone, so the charts needed some cool off on the daily also. So basically you can see we have been cooling off, which is what we want to see for another potential push to the upside. Now you can see Solana is also bouncing from the 100 moving average right here, as you can see on the daily time frame. So we had right around from the top, if we measure it, 7 days of red candles in a row, so it is possibly time for somewhat of a relief for Solana potentially. So in my opinion, we are going to be getting some kind of a relief for Solana right here, and we are going to be testing the 184 zone, or potentially even all the way down to this low right here, which is sitting somewhere in above the POC of this previous range that we broke out of. But as long as Solana remains above this range, basically as long as Solana remains above $180, then potentially I would be looking at for another push to the upside. SUI is almost at $3. Basically, you can see if price drops right around this value area low right here of the bigger range, basically that would take us all the way down to $2.50, which would be a very nice buy opportunity for SUI. XRP is right now below $3. It is possible that we dump, as I said, all the way down to the previous ranges. The pump token also touching right now the 50 EMA, and the last weekly pivot support, as you can see right here. Hype is right now having somewhat of a relief pump to the upside. You can see we did break below that trend line, so potentially we might see somewhat of a bigger correction for Hype potentially. But as you know, Hype is a very strong coin. It was also particularly strong before Bitcoin dumped to 74k. It was down at $10, so in my opinion we are due for another correction due to like $30 or $25, somewhere in between for Hype. Also, if we look at the open interest right here on Bitcoin, you can see we did get a nice spike of open interest while CVD is going down. So this basically means that there are shorts opening right here in the market, and we might potentially get a nice pump to the upside to squeeze those shorts out of the market, and then price might continue dropping down below to my current targets, as I have said before. Also, the liquidation heat map data, we can look at the liquidity. We still have a lot of liquidity sitting towards the downside, as you can see, waiting to be taken out. And in my opinion, sooner or later price will go down and take out those levels very soon. We did get for today for the Bitcoin ETF inflows from the bigger institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity. You can see BlackRock has not had a single red day, but the other institutions are selling. So this is a bit of concerning if other institutions are loading off their profits potentially, but BlackRock is still accumulating. So they are potentially still considering Bitcoin to be a fair value price for them to buy this dip, which is also something to take in mind. Fear and Greed Index, we are back in that fear zone right now. Finally, you can see after spending a lot of time right here during the neutral zone, we are pushing down towards that low fear zone. Basically, we are approaching the extreme fear, you can see right here. So this is also very important to follow. Long versus shorts ratio for today, you can see once again we do have overall more shorts in the market than longs. So this is also something to have in mind. And as you can see, we do have a new exchange to follow right here, which is Aster. This another perpetual DEX like Hyperliquid. Basically, this is from Binance, the biggest centralized exchange. So also, in my opinion, there would be some whales there. So Hyperliquid and Aster is very important to follow both of them. Also to see what the whales there are doing. But right now, overall, we do have more shorts, basically more sellers in the market than buyers. So as I said, those price levels that I have marked might get taken out sooner than later. And yes guys, that will be it for today's update video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for my channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.